Hello and welcome to DigiTalks. We have with us Ramprakash Ramamoorthy, Director of AI Research at ManageEngine. And he is here to share some key insights on AI trends in the Middle East, the role of AI in digital transformation, ManageEngine's investments in AI, and how it has implemented AI into its solutions portfolio. Welcome, Ramprakash.
Thank you. Thank you, Anita, for having me here. Looking forward to the discussion.
Thank you, Ramprakash. Now, what are the factors driving AI adoption in the Middle East? And how is ManageEngine enabling organizations to adapt seamlessly to the growth of AI?
Perfect, Anita. The AI narrative has been getting really hot in the last, I would say, 10 plus years. Where AI started as a consumer tech and then it is getting into the enterprise very slowly. And the Middle East typically has higher levels of digital adoption, right? So they were very early to start everything getting digital, governments getting digital, your electricity payment getting digital, your water payments getting digital. And that has given a very good a solid start, a head start, I would say, for the Middle Eastern region to catch up on AI. Because the amount of AI that you can do in whatever you are doing is directly proportional to the amount of digitization that you had done in the past. So it's a cascading effect. The better you'd have embraced digitization, the better you would be able to do AI today. And needless to say, given the recent hype around large language models, generative AI and all that, the hype of AI is at its peak right now. But has AI lived up to the ground? Yes, in a lot of areas. So for example, in ManageEngine, we strongly believe in X plus AI. Basically, we are not a standalone AI company. We do IT software for IT management, and we have integrated AI across our suite. And we kind of saw this trend coming. So that's why we have been invested in AI for the last 12 years. And again, we don't see AI as a separate big thing. It's a part of all our products. So for example, the first AI features that we launched were finding out anomaly and forecasting. So traditionally, all of these were by using statistical techniques, where probably for an anomaly detection, you would put things into a bell curve and chop off the last 20 and the highest 20 of it and say, these two are the anomalies and these are the normal values. But these things don't really help. So with AI, the whole AI one-liner would be something like this, where you learn from a lot of past data, you observe trends, and then you are able to predict future trends or look back and find out root causes and issues with it. So this was our idea behind ManageEngine. And one thing that we built differently was adding explanations wherever possible, right? So because we build tools for IT, and it's not as easy as consumer tools, where consumer tools, you have a ton of data, because a lot of these consumer tools, we don't pay for them with dollars, right? So we give back our personal data and then they monetize it by showing ads to us. That's not the case with enterprise and especially IT, where the amount of data is limited. So one thing that we started off from the beginning is that our AI has always been explainable, meaning, let's say an AI system takes a decision. The decision will be acted upon by a team or teams of people. So which means there has to be a trust or a truthfulness to be established for the AI's decision. And we all know AI is only 85 to 90% accurate. The best AI models are 90% accurate possibly. So the idea is to add explanations wherever possible, so that the teams are able to maintain a paper trail in something as critical as IT, where, I mean, you obviously have an outage notes, right? You just cannot go shooting at random places, so you will not know what happened in the past. So when we add explanation to AI, it becomes a very powerful tool in the portfolio of IT, where AI is coming and augmenting all your decision making. So this is where ManageEngine is playing. And of course, the Middle East being a strong digital adopter, there is a huge, huge levels of attention that is needed for IT. So that's where ManageEngine comes in. All businesses are digital. Today, the first interaction you have with any brand, let's say you're going to buy coffee or you're going to buy apparel, you're going to buy electronics, whatever it is, your first interaction with that brand would be on a digital mode. Now, given the increasing importance of IT in the Middle East, and given the fact that they have beautifully digitized all of it, it is a ripe ground for AI to come in. And thankfully, we see a lot of AI adoption in Middle East. And like always, the Middle East has been proactive in getting AI into their portfolio. And they see this as a competitive advantage. So I am very bullish on how AI can help Middle East and how so far AI has been adopted in the Middle East. And the future outlook is also very positive.
Right. We're going to be talking about all of this as we go along. So now you spoke very comprehensively about the potential of AI and how it's about to transform the industries in the Middle East. Now, how exactly are industries implementing this AI, and how is AI actually transforming organizations, particularly in the Middle East, with its path-breaking capabilities?
Perfect. So, like I said, they are at the peak of digital adoption, and now your digital experience really matters. I don't want to go and transact on a website that is very slow, or a mobile app where the payment gateway keeps failing. Right? However good the quality of the end product, but I don't want to go buy from an app where I have to repay or try paying like 3-4 times. So, digital experience has become a competitive advantage. So a better app or a better website is as important as a high quality product, right? Depending on the purchaser's final decision. So one thing I see is the whole end-to-end digital experience. One side you have your workforce, which is increasingly remote, right? So there are surveys which says most 98% of people want the flexibility in work option, especially digital workforce, right? And again, here you have a lot of challenges here in terms of security. There are always looming security threats and some malware sitting in your employees' endpoints and sending out all sensitive information to some random unknown domain. So from a security perspective, securing your workforce, there are two things here. One thing, it has to be very frictionless. At the same time, you cannot compromise on security. So this is where AI comes in, and instead of traditional static rules where you'd have hard-coded things in a lot of places. So a Monday morning 9 a.m. is not the same as a Saturday morning 3 a.m. And these two definitely need a very, very radically different approaches. Now, what if I work in shifts? My Saturday morning 3 a.m. is very different from another person who works Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday, right? So the idea is AI can bring in the much needed flexibility in terms for employee productivity. Now you have more productive employees, you have more secure data. That essentially is a big improvement to your end user experience. Again, like I said, website monitoring, right? Finding out outages even before they happen. And an incident has happened. How do you find out the root cause? I mean, if you look at any IT guy's dashboard, there are going to be tons of numbers, tons of charts. Where do you find the needle in the haystack is where AI comes in. And this helps businesses embrace better experience for both their customers and employees. And obviously, the end result is going to be very positive.
Absolutely. Now, R&D is the core focus of ManageEngine. So tell us how ManageEngine has actually managed to incorporate AI into its capabilities and, drive innovation and enable the growth of AI.
Perfect. So ManageEngine has been a very traditionally run company. We have been bootstrapped. We are profitable from day one. And we strongly believe in building deep technical know-how. So everything we do it full stack. Like we have our own data centers. We don't run on public hyperscaler clouds. And we have multiple deployment models for our customers. So it can be on-premises. It can be hosted by us. It can be hosted on their public cloud editions and so on. So R&D has been our way of doing things. We believe in building deep technical know-how. And of course, with AI, like I said, we have been doing AI for the last 12 years or so. The idea behind building our own AI stack also comes with a privacy angle, where now let's say we have inbuilt grammar error correction detection. We have inbuilt language translation capabilities. Now, think about it. You have sensitive data flowing through your service delivery module. right? And you have a tool that is built for the consumer, a browser extension that helps you vet your grammar and fine tune your style of writing, or a private a consumer service for translating stuff, so that most businesses are are doing business across the world right now, and translation is an important aspect. Now, if you have an enterprise editor in your enterprise editor, if you have these translation and grammar capabilities, you really cannot put a price to it. But look at the kind of value add that brings, and look at the cost of privacy, where you need to send copy paste sensitive information to tools that are built for the consumer, and not everybody is sensitive enough to go read what they do with the data, how is the data being stored and all that. So now we built all of that within our apps. We have a comprehensive translation engine, a comprehensive grammar error correction detection engine, and so on. Again, this is not much of a would somebody pay for this? No, but it's the you cannot really put a number on the privacy aspect that comes to it. And we have been building AI across 3 stacks basically. The first stack, which we talked about, natural language processing, grammar and translation and voice to text and stuff like that. The second aspect is where computer vision comes in. Now you have even though the individual processes are digitized, when things flow from one system to another system, it most probably flows as a PDF or an image, right? So you have an invoice, you have a purchase order. Now, enterprises have departments where somebody looks into these invoices and types it into another form so that the process continues. Now, we have put a powerful document processing engine where any document or any image that flows through the system, all required details are extracted out of it and pre-filled. Again, look at the kind of productivity boost that brings in, where one human is looking at the same thing and typing the same thing into another form so that the system is digitally synchronized. So again, these missing pieces we were able to add. And the third part is statistical machine learning, which is, like I said, we talked about anomaly detection, we talked about outage prediction, we talked about root cause analysis of finding. So broadly, these 3 divisions, and we are continually investing in a lot of these R&D projects, from building secure encryption, things like homomorphic encryption, things like federated learning, so that even when we have larger language models that are coming in, how do we sensitivize our data, remove all sensitive information, and then maybe if a customer wants to use a publicly available large language model, how do we ensure the process is seamless? So a lot of our investment goes into R&D, and since we own our own data centers, we are opening data centers across the globe. That has put our focus on privacy and a long-term commitment to our customers.
Absolutely. Now, tell us about some of the trends, AI trends, particularly in this region.
Perfect. Like I said, countries like UAE and Saudi are at the forefront of AI adoption, thanks to much earlier digital adoption and internet adoption and mobile adoption. Countries like Egypt and Oman are catching up really fast on the digitalization trend now, and hoping soon they will start embracing AI as well. So as a region where the end user experience is always, we all love flying Middle Eastern Airlines, where businesses would want to give a proper nice touch to end user commitment wherever, across domains, across businesses. We are seeing a tremendous increase in adoption from the Middle East region, and I am seeing the upswing continue, and I'm very bullish about it.
Absolutely. Now, is there anything you would like to tell us about, AI or ManageEngines AI capabilities? Anything more that you can enlighten our viewers?
Perfect, Anita. So one thing about AI is, there's a lot of hype around AI coming for our jobs, AI going to replace us, all of that. Like I always say, it's not AI that is going to replace us. It's somebody who has access to these tools will be in a better position to replace us. So I see AI as something that could optimize processes and enhance your individual productivity. So the end result, it's just AI that is not superhuman, and of course it's the human who is not superhuman, but an AI plus human could be a really superhuman combo. And it's important, if you have not entered the AI bandwagon yet. I insist businesses to start looking at AI options. I mean, if you are a bank, don't essentially start with an AI in your, let's say, in your credit approval system, right? That is your core business functionality. Probably start AI with your internal IT, where your help desk is automated, where your security processes are automated, or where you're hiring, where you receive a lot of resumes. Use some form of AI to filter these resumes by digitally looking at the content and trying to filter. So embrace AI in small forms, and so that you know how the technology works. So the technology has a very probabilistic nature to it, which we are not used to, right? It's only right 85% of the times. Even today in LLMs, people say LLMs hallucinate. And large language models, LLMs hallucinate. And AI is very prone to hallucination by nature, not just LLMs. If you build a cat versus the image is a cat or a dog, now if you're going to give an image of a horse, it essentially is going to just say you it's a cat or a dog. Right? That's how the technology itself. So understanding how to how to deal with the technology that is so volatile. Things keep changing very fast. And even with the so powerful large language models that are coming up, people talk about don't believe it. It can lie. It can hallucinate. And the worst part is, of the 4 strong truths that it is going to present to you, it can also slide in a 5th lie, which you should have the wisdom to identify that these 4 are true and this is the lie. So this technology is a slightly different thing than the traditional technologies which we have worked, which were traditionally automation, right? We used to automate everything. But here there is also some knowledge that is coming in. It is important to have a feel on the technology in other business areas and slowly start embracing the technology into your mainstream of business. And AI in this decade will be a competitive advantage, but in the next decade, it's going to become a part and parcel of your regular processes. Now think about it. 7-8 years back, we didn't have enterprise mobile apps, but today a lot of enterprise works gets done on the mobile. And having a mobile app was a key differentiator in 2015. But now it's basic. Whenever you're going to use something, I want to have it on the web, I want to have it on Android, I want to have it on iOS at bare minimum. So the same way I see AI also getting standardized, I foresee predictions, AI-based predictions wherever possible, so that can make your end users' life easier. So it is important for businesses to embrace AI. And also from a ManageEngine perspective, I think our belief that we play the long game will help us sustain, because these waves are so huge, right? It's a deep red ocean. There are a lot of players come, a lot of players go, but we are more like a traditional business where we don't go by these trends. We see what is important to our customers, and we continue to keep innovating so that we can deliver a lot of value to our existing customers and new prospects as well. So all in all, AI is at an inflection point right now, given the large language models that are coming in. The last 10 years is not going to be the same as the next 10 years. We will see things changing radically around AI. So businesses, please embrace, if you have not yet done it, now is the time. Have this as a wake-up call. And again, building AI, I think companies like ManageEngine, where there's a deep focus on long-term, the long-termishness of the business itself matters, and have a vision towards your privacy and security aspects as well. That is where I think ManageEngine is a key differentiator.
Absolutely. That was really insightful and eye-opening, particularly, with the fact that AI is growing so exponentially. The need for awareness and the need for implementation, effective implementation, is actually key to, using AI for growth and, further progress. There's so much potential. AI holds so much potential, and we can't wait to see what's next. Thank you so much for enlightening us, Ramprakash. Thank you for the conversation and for your time.
Thank you, Anita. I really appreciate the opportunity. I enjoyed having this conversation.
Thank you.